Hey everyone, and welcome to a quick little demonstration of some of the changes made in the last update to my lock-on prototype. So first off, we'll start off with the top of the screen, mainly the advanced debug, this little level option thing. Basically what that does is you input the name of a level and it will take you there if it exists. And then we have the time, which only affects or which is only affected when there's a level that uses the time. As you can see, this level, the test level, doesn't use anything to do with time, so it's disabled. We also have shots fired and shots hit. The shots fired goes up whenever you shoot your first shot, so if I shoot 2 shots there, because they don't hit anything, it won't add to the shots hit. So as you'll see, because it didn't hit an actual enemy, it just added to the shots hit. I mean the shots fired, sorry. So the next thing we'll talk about is the new bindings menu. This simply allows you to change the bindings of each action. So say if I want move forwards to be Q, and maybe lock on to be the middle mouse button. As you'll see, the text kind of it'll depend on what you picked, whether it'll look good up the top, and it'll also, like, if you pick weird options, it'll also make it a bit harder to move around. As you see, when I click the middle mouse button, it'll make the change, it'll lock on. So I'm just going to quickly put those back to normal, because I don't like the ones I chose. Alright, so each action that you do in this prototype can be changed. And we also have a new advanced debug option, sorry. We don't have any new changes in the options here, but we do have this advanced debug, and when you turn that on, it'll show the player's velocity, it will show the player's location, bullet start location, so whereabouts the arrow is and where the bullets will spawn. It'll show the FPS you're currently at, and it'll show other stuff like your jump velocity, where you jumped at. So if I don't move much, it'll only do a slight jump like that. But if I'm moving at max speed and I jump, it'll do 500. So as you'll see, where the enemies are, it's also showing that they're checking their radius, with this big orange sphere being their radius. When I enter the radius, it will say the player is in the radius, but they can't see me yet. And when they're finally able to see me, it'll say no blocking object, looking at player, and then it should say firing at player just below that. You also see that it has the bullet start point and the bullet end point, and if it does do damage, it'll show how much damage it does. And then it will also have an arrow showing which direction the bullet's going. This is the same for the player, so if I shoot a bullet going that way, it'll show the start point and it'll show the end point in a sec. So after 10 seconds the bullet will destroy itself. So as you'll see, it will show the end point being over there and the path it took. And so if I shoot a few bullets at that enemy, you'll see it will create a few more bullet start points. And if I get a bit closer, you'll also see it'll show how much damage it did to it. So we'll quickly destroy that. So yeah, as you'll see, the enemies now actually do aim and shoot at you. They have different variables that change how long it takes them to aim at you and how long it takes them to shoot another bullet. So I think this one here should be the fastest one. It will also try to predict where you're going to be, and it will try and shoot there. Sometimes it doesn't do it as well, sometimes it does it alright. and then once we get out of its sight, it won't shoot at us anymore. We're still in its radius, so it knows we're here, but it doesn't like it can't shoot us, but because we're behind this wall. So yeah, as you'll see, we also have a lock-on active at the top. That's simply showing that your lock-on is active, but you're not currently locked onto anything. And one thing you'll also see is where we started to lock on and where we finished locking onto someone. So if I press Z to stop the lock on, it'll say stop lock on there. So yeah, one thing I'll quickly move on to is the playtest level I made. This is to simply have a look at some of the features, well not some of the features, but to have an actual play around with the features in a longer sort of level with an actual end. So if we, I'll quickly show me going through that. It's a simple little level I threw together. Nothing too impressive really. And at the end it will give us stats with a percentage of what our accuracy was and how long it took us to finish it. Because as you'll see at the top left, it's now actually tracking how much time we've spent in the level. And I don't think my accuracy is going to be too good, because I keep firing extra shots. Here I'm moving. And one thing I haven't mentioned too much is the health at the bottom right. As you'll see, the enemies will take a random amount off between 4 and 8 damage per attack. And if we drop below 100, well, 0 health, then the level will simply restart. There won't be any fancy death animation or anything. So to finish this level, what you simply have to do is kill all the enemies inside of it. So if all the enemies aren't dead, then the end trigger doesn't spawn in. So I just want to make sure that I don't die as well, because I'm already on 47 health. After 10 seconds you'll see it does start to regen your health a little bit. So once it's regened enough, we'll move in and take care of these guys. And as you'll see, the little grid textures on the walls and floors are just something I made in a minute on GIMP and just slapped in the level. So all we've got to do is just kill these last two guys, and it should be over. Wasted a few mini shots on him, but there we go. Our accuracy was 85.5%, and we took 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So yeah, wasn't too great, but I did fire a lot of unneeded shots. So yeah, those are the majority of the changes I made this time. Mainly to do with the debugging and what's it called? The enemies and this level. But yeah, I think that should be just about it. I just tried to go onto the same level I'm on. I'm just checking my to make sure I ain't got anything else to have a look at. And no, that seems about it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.